ng tawanan, lahat ng iyong all-time hits. Ang tanging huntahan ng Masang Lamaw. Number 1 sa Mega Manila, nationwide pa. Broadcasting from TGON, TVH Group of Networks. Dito lang sa inyong iisang himpilan. Cool FM. You are listening to Cool FM. Live from Cool Studios. This is Cool News at 4.
Good afternoon, and this is Cool News at 4. I'm Cairo. Vice President Sara Duterte on Wednesday claimed that the issues surrounding her office use of confidential funds are part of an orchestrated attack against her. In a video released by the office of the Vice President, Duterte claimed that the Makabayan bloc asked Speaker Martin Romualdez to remove the OVP's confidential funds in 2023, which the latter allegedly agreed to. The Makabayan bloc talked to Martin Romualdez. And because Martin Romualdez didn't want them to attack him, and because he wanted to support the Makabayan and the NPA, he listened. And what he did was he removed the budget, Duterte claimed. She also cited a statement from the Makabayan bloc in September 2023 when they announced that they will be meeting Romualdez to talk about removing the OVP's confidential funds. They also deprived the other governments of their confidential funds so that it would not be obvious that they were attacking me, she said. Duterte said she was only informed by her congressman friend that House Committee on Appropriations Chair Zaldico would remove the OVP's confidential funds. According to Duterte, it was at that point that she realized that the CF issue would be weaponized against her. That's when I understood that they were going to attack using the confidential funds issue. Because after that October, the Commission on Audit released an audit memorandum, she added. The alleged attack was extended under the OVP budget deliberations last August 27, according to Duterte. She said lawmakers already had an audiovisual presentation and a script during the deliberations. They already had the script to be read, and the other congresswoman said, I don't have time, this is long. I can't read letter by letter. But if you see, she already had prepared answers to what we told the Commission on Audit, she pointed out. Legal documents that we told the Commission on Audit why it's dangerous to take the documents when the auditing is not yet final. So if you see, that's how prepared they were, she added. The COA issued a notice of disallowance on 73.2 million pesos of the OVP's 125 million pesos confidential funds for 2022. Several lawmakers said it should be unavailable in the first place as the original budget crafted under former Vice President Lenny Robredo had no confidential funds. However, Duterte claimed lawmakers that are just using the issues on the OVP's confidential funds and the Department of Education's budget against her. If we review what happened during the House budget hearing on August 27, they had a plan to use that to discredit me, she said. And that did not stop there. As you can see now, they are using the issue on the DepEd's budget to destroy my name. Even though I have nothing to do with the observations of the Commission on Audit, they say that it is Inday Sara's fault, she added. Meanwhile, those who respond to questions by repeatedly reading lines are the ones using the script. Lawmakers said in reply to Vice President Sara Duterte's accusations that budget hearings are following a preordained sequence. In the press briefing on Wednesday, members of the House of Representatives GON's movement, La Union First District Representative Apollo Article 5, Tinoc Party List Representative Jude Edre, and one Right Party List Representative Roman Rodrigo Gutierrez were asked about the Vice President's latest insinuations that the deliberations on the Office of the Vice President proposed 2025 budget were script. Article disputed it, saying instead that he knows someone who has a script and that person read the answers repeatedly. I saw the script, the answers were repeatedly read, but for us we do not have any script, no scenario of whatsoever. But for her, all of the answers were made by reading a script, Article said. Edgar Rewal said it is a confident excuse for Duterte to say that the House follows a script when it is her who made repeated response and had a supposedly scripted television interview. During the House Committee on Appropriations hearing on OVP's proposed 2025 budget last August 27, Duterte answered lawmakers' questions by only saying that she either forgoes the opportunity to defend the budget in the question and answer format, or by insisting that they have already coordinated with the Commission on Audit regarding the notice of disallowance. The OVP has released 3 videos of Duterte being interviewed, one since Monday, where she addressed issues relating to her office's proposed budget, and the seemingly clashed with Congress. In the Wednesday video, Duterte claimed that the budget hearing at the House Committee on Appropriations was scripted, as lawmakers had prepared audiovisual presentations and that there was supposedly a plan to attack her. This was however, not the first time that Duterte claimed a script was being used by House members. Last August 27, Duterte was asked by one writer party list Representative Roman Gutierrez as to why the OVP no longer spent its confidential funds for the fourth quarter of 2023. According to the Vice President, they no longer use the CF after Congress removed the secret funds for the then proposed 2024 budget to show that they can survive without it. Duterte also said that they saw a script or a narrative where the CF would be used to attack her office. It is political suicide for the House of Representatives to entertain a possible impeachment complaint against Vice President Sara Duterte, as it would not serve the interests of Filipinos, former Speaker and Davao del Norte 1st District Representative Pantelon Alvarez said on Wednesday. Alvarez said in a statement that politics is the driving force behind rumors about impeachment complaints against Duterte. The rumors surrounding the impeachment complaint against Vice President Sara Duterte are deeply concerning, not just for the political landscape but for the state of our democracy. This move is largely driven by petty political ambitions rather than genuine governance concerns. It reeks of an attempt to eliminate a perceived political rival rather than serving the interests of the Filipino people, he said. Vice President Duterte's overwhelming electoral victory in 2022, with 32 million votes, more than the votes for President Ferdinand Marcos Jr., reflects the mistrust that Filipinos have placed in her leadership. To challenge this mandate through an impeachment based on shallow political grounds is a direct affront to the sovereign will of the people, he added. According to Alvarez, Congress would be reckless if it tried to impeach an official who got the most votes in any election in the country. He also noted that Duterte currently employs net trust approval and satisfaction ratings higher than other government officials. Self-proclaimed appointed son of God Apollo Kibuloy will have no choice but to face the Senate prop suit, Senator Risa Hontiveros said on Wednesday. In a video message, Senate panel of Open Head Hontiveros said her committee is still finalizing the schedule on when their public hearing will be scheduled. We will schedule as soon as possible the next hearing where Apollo Kibuloy will show up. Once we have set the date of the next hearing on Kibuloy here in the Senate, I will write to the proper court to ensure that he will appear in accordance with the standing warrant issued by the Senate against him, she added. Hontiveros said she would question the televangelist why he recruited members of the Kingdom of Jesus Christ only to abuse them in various ways. Those female members, as well as teenagers and even some male members, received unjust treatment from him. They were forced to beg for money to support Kibuloy's lavish lifestyle, his acts of human trafficking in various parts of the Philippines and other areas abroad for him to continue his illegal activities, she added. And more individuals reported to the Philippine National Police that Kingdom of Jesus Christ leader Apollo Kibuloy abused them, its spokesperson Colonel Juan Farjado said on Wednesday. Farjado said some of the alleged victims are minors and they approached the cops while the PNP was trying to serve the arrest warrant to Kibuloy in the KGC compound in Davao City.
During the 16-day police operation po ay may mga lumapit po sa PNP na nagsabi po na sila ay nabiktima rin po ni Pastor Tubuloy. So we are documenting those complaint at without revealing additional complaints po. I cannot say it for now because ongoing po yung mga interviews and documentation po.
Pero after mo operation, yung 16-day operation, ba't nadagdagan po yung participant?
I'm not sure kung nadagdagan, but what I can tell you is during the stay po ng PNP po doon, ay may mga lumapit po na para magsalita at sinasabing sila rin daw po ay di umano. Again, di umano ay naging biktima din po.
Ano po ba na reward, sorry? Biktima na po.
They were also victimized by Pastor Tubuloy, allegedly.
Ano po?
They were also, inabuso din daw, allegedly.
Sumbong sila after mahuli.
At hindi po, even prior po sa sila po ay mahuli, during the stay po doon, may mga lumapit po doon and we are now in the process of coordinating with the SWDs because accordingly, some of the parents of those abused children were the ones who approached our police officer there. At ngayon nga po, we are now in the process of documenting those allegedly additional victims of Pastor Tubuloy. I don't have any details yet, sir. But even how many of those are minors, so antayin po natin, sir, kung ano po ito. But I was made to understand na may mga lumapit daw po.
Mama, type of abuse.
I really cannot tell you what type of abuse ang kanilang naranasan po until such time na mabasa ko po yung mismong reklamo po nila. But what I can say to you is yun lang po at it was revealed to me na sinabi may mga lumapit po sa ating mga pulis at they were referred for documentation procedure po.
It is now 4:13 in the afternoon and koolNews at 4 will be right back. Welcome back. The Land Transportation Franchising and Regulatory Board has launched its investigation into the reported robbery and sexual assault allegedly committed by a ride-hailing app driver against a Vietnamese passenger. LTFRB Chairperson Teofilo Guadias III on Wednesday said they had already sent a letter to the ride-hailing company asking it to explain the allegations as part of the agency's efforts to determine who will be held accountable. First, we created a police report and validated the information and the facts of the case. Second, we wrote to the company asking them to explain what happened, Guadias revealed in a statement on Wednesday. And third, we went to the victim to get her side to determine who will be held accountable, he added. The company was given 5 days to respond to LTFRB's letter. According to Guadias, the ride-hailing company may face sanctions such as suspension of the app for at least 30 days and may also be fined if there is negligence on their part. He likewise advised the public to be cautious and inform a trusted person about the details of the trip. We urge the riding public to exercise caution when using ride-hailing apps. Always verify the driver's identity, share your trip details with a trusted person, and stay alert throughout the journey to ensure your safety, he added. Last week, the Southern Police District reported that a 32-year-old Vietnamese woman was allegedly robbed and raped inside a ride-hailing service car she booked last September 5. Police said the driver had a compliance who later boarded the vehicle, threatened the victim with a knife, and reportedly robbed her of 35,000 pesos and an iPhone. The driver's cohort allegedly raped the victim before blindfolding and abandoning her in front of an establishment along Barangay San Dionisio in Paranaque City. 2 days later, on September 7, police apprehended the driver identified as Andy. Seized from him were the vehicle used to commit the crime, the victim's iPhone, another phone, a pocket knife, a wallet, and a 4.45 caliber firearm. Andy is now facing complaints of robbery, rape, and other charges for violations of Republic Act 10591 or the Comprehensive Law on Firearms and Immunization Regulation Act. The filing for the Certificate of Candidacy for the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Isla Mindanao parliamentary elections is rescheduled to November 4 to 9, 2024, Commission on Elections Chairman George Garcia announced on Wednesday. According to Garcia, the COMELEC and Bank anonymously decided on the reschedule in Barnam because the both body cannot postpone the election. COMELEC and Bank decided to postpone the filing of certificates of candidacy in the whole Bangsamoro region, including the manifestation of intent to participate in the nominees of the political parties, Garcia said in an abashed interview. The poll chief said that it will now be moved to November 4 to 9, 2024 from its original schedule of October 1 to 8, 2024. This is after the Supreme Court ruled that Zulu Province is not part of the Barna. The court granted Zulu's petition for its non-inclusion in the region after rejecting the Bangsamoro organic law in the plebiscite. Garcia said that the elections in Bangsamoro will push through despite the rescheduling of COC filing and the order from the Supreme Court. The poll body chief said that the commission is aiming to clear nuisance candidates before November 30 so they can start printing bullets in the last week of December. And consumers of Manila Electric Co. or Morocco may see a slight increase in their September bills, with the power distributor giant putting the blame on higher transmission charges. The company said Wednesday that power rates this month went up by 0.1543 pesos per kilowatt hour, pushing the overall rate to 11.7882 pesos per kilowatt hour against the 11.6339 pesos per kilowatt hour imposed in August. This translates to a 31 peso rise in electricity bills for users consuming 200 kilowatts per hour. Morocco attributed this to the hike in transmission charge or the cost of delivering power supply to the firm's distribution system, which reached 0.2913 pesos per kilowatt hour. This was due to higher ancillary service charges following the resumption of commercial operations of the reserve market on August 5, 2024, it said. Just like last month, the generation charge again recorded a slight drop, dipping by 0.1547 pesos per kilowatt hour. However, this was too inaccurate to cancel the increase in transmission charge. If it weren't for the increase in transmission charge, the rates would have gone down this month. Morocco Vice President and Head of Corporate Communications Joe R. Zaldariaga said in the briefing. And now for the headlines from around the world. Mexico became the world's first country to allow voters to elect judges at all levels on Wednesday after protesters invaded the upper house and suspended debate on the issue. Outgoing President Andres Manuel Lopez Obrador had pushed hard for the reform and criticized the current judicial system for serving the interests of the political and economic elite. The reform was approved with 86 votes in favor and 41 against, garnering the two-thirds majority needed to amend the constitution in an upper chamber dominated by the ruling Morena Party and its allies. Debate on the reform had sparked mass demonstrations, democratic tensions, and investor jitters. A landslide in the wake of the deadly Typhoon Yagi devastated a Vietnamese village, state media reported Wednesday, as severe flooding in the aftermath of the area's strongest storm in decades claimed victims across multiple countries. The landslide engulfed the remote mountainous village of Lang Nu in Lao Cai province, killing at least 22 people and leaving another 73 people still missing, multiple media reports said. Yaki struck at the weekend, bringing winds in excess of 149 kilometers or 92 miles per hour and a deluge of rain that has caused flooding not seen in decades. Officials have reported more than 140 killed in Vietnam alone. Laos, Thailand, and Myanmar have all also been hit by floods in the aftermath of the storm, with fatalities reported in both Thailand and Laos. Nguyen Tran Van, age 41, who has lived near the Red River in the Vietnamese capital Hanoi for 15 years, told AFP, "This was the worst flooding I have witnessed. I didn't think the water would rise as quick as it did. I moved because if the water had risen just a bit higher, it would have been very difficult for us to leave." And fewer climbers tackle Mount Fuji during this year's hiking season. Preliminary figures show up the Japanese authorities introduced an entry fee and a daily cap on numbers to fight over tourism. Online reservations were also brought in this year by officials concerned about safety and environmental damage on the country's highest mountain. The number of climbers fell by 40% between early July, when the volcano's hiking trails opened for the summer, and early September, according to the Environment Ministry. To calculate its preliminary figures, the ministry used infrared devices installed on the four trails. It comes despite Japan welcoming a record influx of foreign visitors, with nearly 80 million tourists entering the country in the first half of 2024. And in entertainment news, Taylor Swift, one of the music industry's biggest stars, endorsed Kamala Harris for president shortly after the debate ended on Tuesday night. "I think she is a stately-handed, gifted leader, and I believe we can accomplish so much more in this country, which is the United States, if we are led by calm and not chaos," Swift wrote in an Instagram post, which included a link to the voter registration website. Swift has a dedicated following among young women, a key Democratic in the November election, and her latest launch has generated more than $1 billion in ticket sales. In a half hour, the post received more than 2.3 million likes. She included a picture of herself holding her cat Benjamin Button, and she signed the message, "Childless Cat Lady." The remark is a reference to 3-year-old comments made by J.D. Vance, Donald Trump's running mate, about women without children not having an equal stake in the country's future. Swift wrote that her endorsement was partially prompted by Trump's decision to post a generated picture suggesting that she had endorsed him. One showed Swift dressed as Uncle Sam, and the text said, "Taylor wants you to vote for Donald Trump." Trump's post brought me to the conclusion that I need to be very transparent about my actual plans for this election as a voter, Swift wrote. She added that, "I have done my research and I have made my choice." The Trump campaign dismissed Swift's endorsement. And that is it for koolNews at 4. As always, if you have any news suggestions or feedback that you would like to share, you can get in touch with us at tvh.philippines.news@gmail.com. Until then, I'm Cairo, and we will see you later for more news headlines with koolNews at 6. Good afternoon.